In this video we will explain Intervlan routing. Or it means router on a stick. Let's see. Intervlan routing. We use it when we have it on the network. 2 VLAN and 1 router. The 2 VLANs have different gateways. I mean, for example, I have 2 VLANs. VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Devices in VLAN 10. You will take IBHOT in the range 192.168.10.2 to 192.168.10.2. For example, it means and gateway 192.168.10.1. Also VLAN 20. Devices take IBHOT, for example, in the range 192.168.20.2 to 192.168.20.2, and gateway 192.168.20.1. Here we have 2 gateways. It is normal for us to have 1 gateway, but here we have 2 gateway. And because we have 2 gateway, we will use Intervlan routing, which is the topic of the video. So what exactly will we do? The router has 1 interface connected to the switch. We will divide the interface into sub-interfaces. The first interface is 192.168.10.1. This is for VLAN 10. The second interface is 192.168.20.1. This is for VLAN 20. It means we have made 2 gateway, instead of having 1 gateway on the first. And in this case, we call the router on a stick. It means that the interface of the router attached to sub-interfaces, and this switch port, which continues on the router. We'll say you're running. Also called VLAN 10 and 20. This, in short, is what we will do. This is the form of the redeeming connection. Let's see the configuration. We'll get into switch. And we will write on VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. VLAN 10 and enter. I will tell him that port 01 and 02. They are VLAN 10. Int RF01-2. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 10. And then we will write command spanning tree port fast. This will help the port perform quickly. Also the 2 ports 03 and 04 are VLAN 20. Int RF03-4. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 20. Spanning tree port fast. Port G01. Which continues on the router. We'll say you're running. It is also called VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. Int G01. Switch port mode trunk. Switch port trunk allowed VLAN 10 and 20. We will go to the router. And we will just do no shut. For transportation on the island, which is G000. We'll do no shut. And we will not put it on IP. Because we will divide it into sub-interfaces. I'm going to say int G000. No shutdown. We will do the sub-interfaces. We will write int G000. And we will write any number. For the initial interface, I like to write the same number. To insult the national interface. To organize. So that we can know it easily. We will write .10. And we will write encapsulation.1Q10. You should write 10. Means VLAN 10. I can't put any number down other than 10. In order to do work. VLAN 10. We'll do an IP. IP add 192.168.10.1 255.255.255.0. The second sub-interface. For VLAN 20. Exactly the same commands. Int G000.20. Encapsulation.1Q20. IP add 192.168.20.1 255.255.255.0. Okay, I'm here. I didn't do any work. Configuration for DHCP means I don't distribute automatic IPs. I will go now on every device. And I will do it. The IP and the gateway. It means the primary system. For example, 192.168.10.2, and the gateway, of course, 192.168.10.1, as well as the rest of the devices.
If we do ping between Vlan 10 PCs and Vlan 20 PCs, they will show others. I will ping between PC 1 and 3. They will show others.
Let's see the configuration, which we did, through the command, show IP and brief. He will show me his length, the two IP, of the sub-interfaces, which we did, the command, show IP route. He will do it, on the two sub-interfaces, which we did, in this way. Okay, if I have two switch and every switch has them, it has ports, VLAN 10 followed, and ports, VLAN 20 followed, we will do the same configuration, which we did, exactly, and the second switch, we will do the same configuration for it, which we did, for the first switch, and we will deliver, the two switch, some through, cable trunk, or cable trunk, and we will do the configuration, for port trunk, which is in every switch, through the command, int G02, and switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk allowed, VLAN 10 and 20. This is what connection looks like.